All right, welcome into another edition of Spreads Edge. I am JP Peterson, your host. Former NHL All-Star Brian Bradley is here with me. And Brad, we got hockey back. It's fantastic. Let's talk about some of the Canadian teams. And let's talk about Toronto and Columbus right now. It's Austin Matthews and the gang. Columbus is a little bit more healthy and they're ready to go. What do you think?
Yeah, I think in the first round, that's probably one of my top two series, Columbus and Toronto. I mean, when you talk about Toronto, you talk about Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, William Nylander. They have a lot of explosive scoring, just like the Lightning do. Freddie Anderson's their goalie, but they're playing Columbus. We all know what Columbus did last year to the Lightning in the first round. They swept them. John Tortorella will have his team ready. They're picking up a key addition in Seth Jones coming back, probably one of the top defensemen in the NHL. I'm looking forward to watching them play tonight against Boston and see what they have, but that is going to be a marquee matchup.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Montreal. They were kind of sellers at the deadline anyway, but they're still in it, so to speak. And they'll take on a Penguins team that has lost a lot of guys by injury this year, but they're ready to go.
Yeah, anytime you talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins, you talk about Sidney Crosby. They're going to be very tough to beat. I mean, they've got a few guys back from injuries right now. Jake Gensel's come back from a bad injury, and he's ready to go. He's a 30, 40 goal scorer. But, one of the things, the only chance Montreal Canadiens have, JP, and let's be honest, they're going to have Carey Price to shut the door. He's probably one of the best goalies in these things besides our goalie Vasilevsky, but Carey Price has to steal a game or two by himself, or Montreal's going to be out early in the first round.
And quickly, let's talk about Edmonton. You got to talk about Connor McDavid, 97 points in 64 games. How do you think they'll fare in this playoff format?
Well, you know what? It's going to be really interesting. When I really look at the format, you talk about Connor McDavid for the Edmonton Oilers, Leon Draisaitl, another top player on their team who's a leading scorer in the NHL. They're playing Chicago. And Chicago was the 12 seed, Edmonton was a 5 seed. But you know what? I watched last night's game. They played St. Louis. Chicago beat St. Louis 4-0. Chicago looked really good. Patrick Kane looked like he hadn't missed a step. He played unbelievable. So you know what? I'm really intrigued by this first round matchup with a veteran team with some young guys with Chicago playing the Edmonton Oilers with Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid is the best player in the NHL right now.
Might be a good bet and a good value. Chicago, really long odds. So look at that one. That's this week's Spreads Edge. We'll see you next time.